Hello, empathy heroes. It is me, Known Wells, creator of You, Me, Empathy, sharing our mental health stories. This is episode 0, the introductory episode of You, Me, Empathy, a podcast I've been ruminating on for years, and it's finally come to fruition. It's here. Thank you to everyone who's been very supportive as I've been building this thing and getting this out into the world, and I'm just so happy and thankful for that, so thank you. In episode 0, you will hear me chat with my friend Tony, who is a psychotherapist. He will be a regular contributor to You, Me, Empathy, and we will be talking about just what this show is about and why it matters to each of us and all of that loveliness. So I hope you enjoy it. I love you, and thanks for listening. Hugs. Hugs, hugs.
La la la, you, me, empathy, yeah, la la la.
Welcome to You, Me, Empathy. This is episode 0 of a podcast that has been on my brain for a long time. Sort of a lifelong dream of mine to have a show around mental health. My name is Known Wells. I am the creator and host of You, Me, Empathy, and I have my friend Tony here. Hey, Tony.
Hey, Known. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
Tony will be a regular contributor to You, Me, Empathy. He is a mental health professional. He's great at what he does, and it means a lot to me for him to be a part of this sort of dream of mine, and he's got a big heart. But if he fucks it up, I'll kill him.
This could be quick. Yeah, this could be a very short-lived dream, at least of mine.
So quickly before I get into Tony, before Tony sort of explains a little bit about himself, right just there in that moment, you heard me sort of make a dark joke. That is sort of part and parcel to me. I have darkness in me, so I sometimes go to dark places in silly ways. So if you're not cool with that, that's okay. I will, just let me know. And I'm going on a tangent. So how about Tony talks a little bit about himself, a little bit of his background, and sort of tell us about what he will be doing for You, Me, Empathy.
Well, this is something I'm super excited about as well. I mean, you've talked about this kind of being your dream, and in some respects, I think this is mine as well, even as a contributor to the program. When no one approached me to do this idea, I was really just immediately said, sure, I'm in. I don't know exactly what you want, but I can't wait to do something. For me personally, knowing Known as I do, I mean, he's just really such an amazing person, and I think one of the things that he brings to everything he does, so I know he's going to bring it to You, Me, Empathy, is his realness, his authenticity. And in the work that I do as a mental health professional, I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. Actually, I don't think I've done that yet. So I'm known as Anthony Remike to the Board of Behavioral Sciences here in California as a licensed marriage and family therapist. And I have a private practice in Tustin, California. I'm also a certified sex addiction therapist, and which I'm sure it will come up at some point. We'll probably have a guest on, and we'll probably be talking about that in some future episode. And so I am in clinical practice and absolutely love what I do. I think I have the coolest job in the world. And part of that is speaking to what Known is talking about, which is helping people bring out their authenticity and their realness. And for me, as a mental health professional, being able to offer an environment in which they get to be, completely real people. I mean, they get to bring in everything that they are. There's no, false presentations. Hopefully we're working through that for them, and they can just really learn to be themselves in a very safe environment. So again, when no one approached me to do this, I'm so stoked. I mean, thank you. I'm really, really actually happy to be here because, again, helping people understand mental health, helping people understand this is something that so many of us struggle with. I mean, and I think so many people struggle in isolation. And if anything, I'm hoping, and I know you're hoping, that You, Me, and Empathy gives a forum to people to realize, oh my goodness, you're not alone. I mean, this is really something that people struggle with. And if we can talk about it, and we can talk about all the various ways that people do struggle by having different topics that we'll talk about, different guests that we'll bring onto the show, and and really being able to pull back, all the different types of things people struggle with, whether that's depression, anxiety, whether it's some form of compulsive behavior, whether it's addiction, whether it's low self-esteem, relational problems. There's so many different types of ways our darkness, so to speak, manifests. And so I just applaud Known for bringing this, to the forefront of listeners and recognizing and his willingness to be so authentic and real. And I'm excited that I get to contribute as a mental health, professional in terms of being able to bring my perspective to the topics we'll talk about. So, this is really cool.
Well, thank you for saying that. It's very kind of you, and it always feels good to feel validated for the things that you pursue passionately. So I do very much appreciate that, and having you on the show. I'm clearly not a mental health professional, so having you on the show and contributing in the way that you will, lends a little bit of credibility to the show. So for the listener, Tony will. I don't think he'll be on every show, but I think the structure of the show will be essentially, each episode I'll chat with a guest about a particular struggle or something, related to mental health that they want to talk to, or something that's close to their heart they want to talk about. And then Tony will have a segment with myself, and he will sort of contribute. This will be a separate segment, not with the guest, and he'll talk about that particular topic from his perspective as a professional in the field. So, and then the second half of the show will be the continuation of my chat with the guest. So I just thought that was a cool sort of structure, a good structure, and having Tony here, just makes it a little bit more professional. The main thrust of the show will be everyday folks like myself talking about our struggles and talking about the things that we deal with, and just being open with one another, embracing empathy deeply, as Tony said, being authentic, being vulnerable, and I just feel like doing those things and embracing those things is how we as humans grow and how we connect on levels that are meaningful. So that's really what the show's about. Like, it's as much as I do agree with Tony. Like, one of the main intents of You, Me, Empathy is for folks to find a place, to find a safe space, a judgment-free place to, as guests or as listeners, to find some relatability, find some solace in the fact that others are going through similar experiences. Like, that's a huge, empowering thing. And then, on the self-serving side, like, it's also in some ways a form of therapy for me. Like, I love having these conversations. It's a good sort of emotional challenge for me, and I know it's a good thing for me. So on all those levels, like, I it's why You, Me, Empathy is so important to me. So that's what the show is going to be about. A little bit about myself. Again, my name's Known, and that's spelled N-O-N with a macron over the O to make that long O sound. I know. It's fun. I've been in therapy for the last few years, and I had previously been in therapy, maybe 10, 15 years ago. But over the last 3, 4, 5 years in my life, I'm 36, finally starting to properly address my feelings and my emotions, and properly, willingly trying to understand why I do things and why I feel certain ways. And therapy has been an immense help for that, to have that sort of third-party perspective. I had a rough go of it as a child in some ways. It was great in many ways. I had issues with my father. He was abusive in emotional ways and physical ways at times. As a kid, I sort of learned to, I called it my heart guard. I learned to protect myself by sort of shutting down, sort of shutting off. And I think that's really why it took so long for me to be able to really open up in therapy, is because I had sort of developed this pattern, this coping mechanism, this sort of survival technique to just like shut myself down from the world. I even remember like there was a point in my life, this was before I met Jessica, my wife, where like I was trying to sort of connect with women on a romantic level, you know, but I couldn't. Like I couldn't because I was so, I just couldn't give myself. I was still so shut off. And I feel so like, you know, looking back on that time, I feel so bad because I was so shut off from the world. And again, that's just part of it. I've grown. One of the main impetus for this show is this period of my life in my late teens and early 20s where I developed anorexia due to trauma and depression and going through this period of time where I was trying to mediate my parents' marriage, you know, failing, of course, because, you know, I can't control that. That's not mine to control. And I almost died and my heart almost stopped. I dropped down to 118 pounds and it was very difficult. I recently wrote about it. If you well, as you're listening to this, it was a few months ago, but you can check that out on Medium. My username is @subject+verb. But anyways, like all those experiences have brought me to this place, to this podcast, You, Me, Empathy. I have a clear idea of who I am, and I have a clear understanding that opening up my heart to people like Tony, to my wife, to friends, has sort of graced me and has sort of enhanced my life in so many different ways and in so many different positive ways. And I was never able to do that before. So You, Me, Empathy is an extension of that. So yeah.
Well, it's like, yeah. How are you feeling? That's a lot.
I feel good. Thanks for asking. Yeah, no, I'm very passionate about this, and it means a lot to me. And so I think there will be times where this show will be emotionally challenging. I may even cry, you know,
Yeah, absolutely.
and that's a good thing. All feelings are valid, and I just want to give people that space. I want to give people the space that, you know, maybe I didn't have as a kid, or to put it another way, didn't create the space that gave me that opportunity to experience it in that way. I want this to be a safe space and a judgment-free place and just a place of connecting deeply with humans. You know, we're all here. We're all humans. We're all on this pale blue dot, as Carl Sagan says, trying to figure out like what makes us human, what makes us connect. This is a interesting anecdote, but I was talking to my friend Justin recently about the movie Blade Runner 2049, Tony's favorite film.
Oh my goodness.
We won't go into
yeah, we won't go into that.
That's fine. But one of the things I really like about that movie is the fact that all of the characters, whether they're sentient or not, corporeal or not, they are trying to make connections. They're trying to figure out what makes them who they are. And I feel like that's an effort worth pursuing. And as humans, robots as well, if you want, you know, and this podcast is about that too.
You know, something you said that's just sticking with me, and and you even used the words a few times now, and I'm like, wow, yeah, that's so key, is this idea of safety, you know, and when you were talking about finding safety in your life, you know, recently, and the idea that this podcast hopefully being a forum for people to also find a safe place for themselves to either hear information and or, you know, start finding safe places in their own life, you know. And, again, thinking about this clinically, safety is such a huge, major component, I think, of anybody's healing. And to be honest, in terms of my own biases and perspectives of this, I don't think people can really start to heal until they have a safe environment. And I really think that's one of those foundational pieces of healing that, we do clinically when, we set up a safe environment for people to be able to come in. I think one of the things you were referencing is the safety of relationships that you found.
Yeah.
And, I'm actually very thankful to be one of those people that have, served part of that purpose for you in your life, and you do the same for me. And it's in that, the context of the safety of those relationships where I've seen you grow. I've seen you grow in your ability to communicate and share and express, all these things that I know, you've told me personally that you hadn't for so long. And, I've just continued to kind of see this evolve in you, again, to the point of actually talking to me, this several months ago about, hey, I'm thinking about doing this podcast, and really, this really becoming something that you became very passionate about. And so again, this idea of safety, I just, I don't think it can be in any way at all, missed or minimized, discounted. It's a huge thing. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're living in a world where the awareness of mental health is improving, I would say. But I think there's still so much misunderstanding and so much stigma. Our first episode of this show, the next episode, will be on the subject of stigma in mental health with Beth Ann Patrick. So that contributes to the perspectives of the scenario in which a person does not feel safe, right? I've experienced that personally in my life, even with my direct family. I won't get into specifics, but situations where, a mindset of just get over it, a mindset of they're not working hard enough, or a mindset of whatever it may be, it's coming from a place of either chosen ignorance or who knows, fear, all a lot of reasons probably, but it makes sense, right? Like that safety is so important because there are pockets in the world that are not safe for people to speak openly and to be vulnerable and to connect.
Oh, no, absolutely. And I think, we're social creatures, right? We're social animals, and we want to be a part of the herd. There's safety in being a part of the herd. There's danger in being outside of the herd. And so we want to be accepted. And, and I think as human beings, one of our greatest needs is to be a part of the herd and to be loved. I think that's, some of our greatest needs. And if we're threatened by that, or if we're threatened that something we're going through or something we feel or we think or we do is in some way going to ostracize us from that herd, and we're going to lose the acceptance of people, we're going to lose the acceptance of love, we'll keep it in. It's something that we're not going to take the risk. And that's why I love this show and the concept, again, behind the show, and also obviously what I do for a living, because I, like you, want to break that stigma. I want this to be a breakthrough in our culture. And I think again, like you, I think mental health has come a long way, particularly since the 70s and the 80s, and I think we're really growing as a culture in accepting mental health. But I still think there's a lot of things as a culture we don't understand about mental health. And I think there's a lot of limitations, and I still think there's a lot of reasons why people don't share. So like you, I really want this to be, to become something that the culture really understands. And I think education is a huge part of that. I think psychoeducation will be something that I'll hopefully be able to contribute to the show. And I think that is really important in helping people just get the facts. To really understand, well, what is mental health? And, and like anything, it runs on a continuum. And, and so, when does something become unhealthy? When is something healthy? When does it become something we need to seek help for?
Yeah.
And all these types of questions that we'll be talking about. But again, as a culture, to really educate the culture and understand that, this is a part of, so many different people's lives. And there's so many things about it that we can do through new knowledge and breakthroughs, and accept this as a culture, and just really move this forward, so.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't have a ton of experience with many different therapists, but knowing you as a person, outside of that context, it's nice to know that there are people like you in the mental health field who do want to embrace that. So that's great.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. It's something I am passionate about. It's something that I really feel like I have the greatest job in the world, and serving people in the way that I'm given the opportunity to, and the trust that people give to me. I mean, I'm so constantly blown away, that people come in and again find safety in the relationship, and I get this amazing benefit of being a facilitator of their healing and their growth, and to be a part of that, and to really see change in people's lives. I mean, to really see them work through relational issues, and different, various forms of mental illness that are creating all kinds of either distress or impairment in living in life. It's amazing. I mean, and it happens. I mean, I really think I have the coolest job in the world. And, so, to bring that into this forum with you, somebody, who is also equally as passionate about this, from a different point of view, but we get to come together and collaborate on this. And again, really break the ice, culturally speaking, and getting this out there, and really getting people to just again understand more about mental health, but also have a forum for this topic of exploration. And so yeah, this is really cool.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So if you're listening to this, it's very clear at this point that we care about this immensely, and I wouldn't be doing this show if I didn't care immensely about mental health awareness and talking and communicating and connecting and being authentic. So basically, I want to tell you that this is a safe space. This is, if you have things you want to talk about, if you want to connect with me and just talk over email or Skype or contribute in some way, if you are equally as passionate about this stuff as Tony and I are, and if you want to contribute in some way, let me know. I would really love to hear from you. I want to create a community around this show, You, Me, Empathy, because it's not just about me. It's about you as well, and empathy, right? You, me, and empathy. So
wow, that works so well if you
right?
really think about it.
Yeah, it took me a while to come up with a name. There's some stinkers in there at first. Feelings with an exclamation point was one option that quickly left my brain. But this is about all of us, and I want to create a community of people who want to talk openly about this stuff. So that's what this show's about. I'm unclear at this point of, the specific structure of the show. I tend to not like super structured shows. I love tangents. I want a natural conversation to just go, and wherever it takes us, that's the journey that we're experiencing. And so, but I did have a couple ideas. Obviously, Tony will have his segments. At this point, I'm calling it Tony time.
Tony time.
Tony time. And another couple segments that I've been thinking about, pinging around in my brain. One is feelings heroes. So, when I have guests on, maybe each of us talking about specific folks in our life who are doing what we're talking about, who are being open about their feelings and embracing that authenticity as humans. So talking about those people, highlighting them, whether we know them personally or not. Another segment I've been thinking about is called Fuck Stigma.
Wow.
Yeah, and that is maybe to highlight either a stigma that is we're experiencing personally, or maybe an unforeseen stigma that can go, because there's so many little things that I think culturally we do that contributes to stigma, to ourselves and to each other. So that would be a segment where we talk about the stigma and maybe some specific ways that it's affected us and ways we can move beyond it. So that's the show. You, Me, Empathy. I'll be your creator, your host, your heartfelt, silly boy. And Tony will be...
I was going to say hero, but
never.
Heartfelt hero.
Never. Tony will be your mental health professional and contributing in awesome ways like he does. And so this is episode 0. Next episode will be episode 1 with Beth Ann Patrick, the creator of #FridayReads. She's great. And that'll be about mental health stigma. If you want to, again, be a guest on the show, contribute in some way, I created an email address, youmeempathy@gmail.com. So shoot me an email. I'd love to hear from you. Whatever you want to talk about. I love talking to people, even if it's not on the podcast. If you want to support the show, again, always, you can go to Apple Podcasts, iTunes, subscribe, leave us an honest rating and review. That always helps out the show. That's great. Also, if you want to connect with the show, because connecting is what You, Me, Empathy is all about. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at subject+verb, and the show, You, Me, Empathy, on Twitter and Instagram at You, Me, Empathy. And I just want to thank you for listening and, going on this empathic journey with us. It means so much to me. It's, like I said, this is a dream of mine, and I'm excited about it, and I'm very happy that Tony is here with me. So if something goes wrong, it's Tony time.
Uh-oh. Now I get why I'm here. I'm the scapegoat. I get it.
Yeah, I'm just kidding, buddy. Well, thanks for being a part of it, Tony.
Yeah,
I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. And like I said, I'm so happy to be a part of this. So excited about this kind of unknown journey that we're embarking on.
Yeah.
And excited to think that, we're all traveling down a path. We really don't really know where we're going. We've got a very loose outline that we've talked about, that we have a passion for. And I'm excited to see where this takes us.
Ditto, my friend. And again, listeners, thank you so much for being here. Oh, I just want to say that before we go, the intro and the outro music you'll hear shortly is from David Grabowski. I work with him for my full-time job. He is amazing, so if you like that, give him a follow. And I guess that's it. Thanks for listening and supporting You, Me, Empathy. I don't have a sort of outro commentary yet, so I'm going to figure that out at some point.
That was really great.
Okay.
I thought that was it.
Oh, I actually wrote something down. Bear with me. Let's see if this works. And you listeners, tell me if you think this is, if you like this. I'm here. You're here. We're here together on this wayward, absurd, overwhelming, awe-inspiring pale blue dot. We have each other. It's You, Me, Empathy.
Wow, I like it.
See you guys.